...2016 Motion Plus Lanes Youth Open coming to you from Cudahy. 3 great matches on the shows today. Our Girls Championship, Boys Championship. And those 2 match winners will take each other on in the challenge match for a $100 Visa gift card courtesy of our friends here at Motion Plus Lanes. We'll be back with that Girls Championship match after this short break.
All right, Milwaukee Bowlers, we're looking to grow one of the best premier scratch leagues in the area, and we want you to come join us. So here at AMF Bolero, we're going to be expanding this league. We're going to be adding a bunch of money. If you have not heard about the Bolero Masters, it's Wednesday nights, starts in the fall, first Wednesday of September after Labor Day. We're going to add about $1,500 to the prize fund, plus we're going to take a discount on liners to make sure that that prize fund is something that you guys want to bowl for. So you need to get your teams now, call us here at Bolero, and let us know if you're going to join us here this fall.
Kerry Catania, proprietor here at Motion Plus Lanes, as always, starting our matches in these events in Motion Plus, as Kerry gives us a little archer, and a dab from Kerry as well. So we start the Motion Plus Lanes Youth Open. Face we've seen before on our shows here on Time Warner Cable SportsChannel, but not for a few months. Courtney Ermish taking on Stephanie Followbeck. Followbeck, the winner of our River City Lanes event earlier this summer, and a great start for Ermish with 10 back in the pit. These bowlers bowling on a long pattern today, 43 feet in length. The ratio is about 3-to-1, so it would be something you'd see on the PBA Tour or the PWBA Tour for how tough these patterns play. As from the port side, Followbeck steps up. And the very direct angles both players are using. Followbeck from the outside part of the lane, pointing it up to the head pin. Or with Ermish, she's playing deep on the lane between the second and third arrow. With both players letting that ball get into a strong roll at the pocket to let the pins dance around and do damage upon themselves. Winner of this match advances to our championship today against the boys' final winner between Nick Hagen and Billy Hibbard. Hagen, you saw, finished in second place in our last show from Castle Lanes. Followbeck looking for her second championship in the last 2 months here on TV. Good opening double for Followbeck. Both these players will be representing Robert Morris in Chicago on the college bowling circuit next season. Ermish will be a sophomore, Followbeck entering as a freshman. So teammates on the lane this fall, but not teammates out here right now. Both bowlers looking to advance to the championship match. And both bowlers starting with 2 strikes. Ermish, a big softball player, managed to fit this tournament in her busy summer softball schedule. Plays for a couple of club teams in Wisconsin when she's home from school. And the front 3 for Ermish. And she goes back to talk to her dad, Mike. Mike, an accomplished player himself over the years. And Courtney's mom, Dawn, also an accomplished bowler on the lanes. Followbeck, you see, nice and relaxed in that setup. Leaves that left shoulder down just a bit to get the ball to clear the hip. A little too pointed to the pocket, and pays the full penalty with the 4-10 split. Scoring pace on this pattern was relatively high on both sides for the boys and the girls. As we usually see, the longer the patterns get, it seems to be the scores for these young players seem to increase. Many young players struggling on the shorter patterns, as we've seen earlier this season at Sunset Bowl when we were on the 35-foot Los Angeles pattern. Scores were a bit low for that event, with only Brent Boho averaging over 200, not just during the qualifying for the TV tournament, but on the TV portion of the event. Even though he lost to Jalen Hainan in that championship match when Jalen started with the front five. Great bounce back toss by Followbeck in the fourth frame. Keep yourself within a couple of marks. I want to thank Joe Serrar, Bowlers Pro Shop, for all the help he provides with commentary on the shows. Joe, a busy man during these last couple of months before bowling season starts again in the fall. Lots of bowling balls being drilled up, and Joy, thanks again for all your help. Don't wait too long, bowlers, to get in and get your equipment, get ready for fall leagues, and a huge break for Ermish as she manages to somehow take out the 4-5 on a very light hit. Let's take a look at the replay here. Watch the head pin do a lot of work. Barely gets in the 4-pin. 4-pin falls into the 5. Ermish knows it wasn't her greatest shot, but she gets them all to fall, and a little bit of a shocked look on the way back. And let's see if she can take advantage of this, getting into the high 5 gear 5th frame. As always with our singles events, $25 gift certificate from high 5 gear on the line if you can strike in high 5 gear 5th. That will not happen for Ermish. Big time pull dead left and leaves a 5-10 combination. And she's probably only shot at 2 or 3 of those this season on errant shots on these tougher sport patterns. That was probably only a 3-board miss to her target. But with these deep angles the bowlers are playing, it changes the overall shape of the shot. And it's a lot easier for the ball to get left of the head pin in a hurry as compared to a house pattern. Let's see what Followbeck can do here. Looking for that $25 high 5 gear certificate. Last time we saw her on TV, she earned 2 of those with her strikes at River City Lanes. That's a little right of target. Gets a good break to take out the 7-pin. No baby split, just leaves the 2. But she knew that double was going to be huge to try to get back into this match with the deficit she's facing right now. 32 pins currently. And that's wide left, not coming back, and that deficit stays at 32 because of the open frame. 116 on an open for Ermish in the 5th, to go with Followbeck's 84 with an open in the same frame. Followbeck's grandparents in the back cheering her on as always. A little bit of a crowd stayed around after the tournament today to watch the TV tapings, and the overcorrection by Followbeck with the angle leaves her wide of the head pin. That sleeper 9-pin could cause some problems with the 1, 3, and 9. So she'll take a little more time to set up on the approach. Can't afford another open frame at this point in time. Quick steps to the line. Gets all 3 pins of the ball. A great spare to get into our commercial break for this game. Courtney Ermish leads by 32 pins. We'll be back with the rest of this girls' final, the 2016 Motion Plus Lanes Youth Open, after this short break. Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com. Action rolls on for Motion Plus Lanes. Our girls' championship match for the Motion Plus Lanes Youth Open. Courtney Ermish, 32-pin lead, entering her half of the 6th frame. Looking to get back, striking start with the first 4 strikes for an open frame in the 5th. Gets a big break there to take the 6-pin out of the 4-6 combination, leaving just the 4-pin. You can see, even with a 43-foot oil pattern, 17 feet of dry, these bowlers can get a strong enough roll on the bowling ball to slice through the pin deck, and that's a dead pull left, not even close for Ermish. And the gap is reduced down to 21 pins. Ermish's lead over Followbeck. I want to thank the Catanias here at Motion Plus Lanes again for hosting not only this event, but our great action heating and cooling events. And it's not too early to put it on the calendar, ladies and gentlemen, because the event sells out every year. Our action heating and cooling singles shootout scratch tournament. Always at least a $750 first place prize. And that great 4-person shootout here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Tournament's going to take place on November 12th. Tournament finals will air right around Thanksgiving on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. So call Carrie Catania to get signed up right away for that. 414-481-0200. Courtney Ermish, third open frame in a row. The lead down to single digits over Followbeck. And if Followbeck can step up here in the 7th and 8th frames and put up a double, she can take the lead, where she was down over 40 pins earlier in this match. And the head pin comes out the sideboard just enough to take out the 10 pin. Once again, the Peckus family, Action Heating and Cooling, thanks again for all your sponsorship here at Motion Plus Lanes. The heat, the way it's been this summer, get that AC checked. Give Action Heating and Cooling a call. They'll come out, give your air conditioning unit a good going over, make any fixes that are needed, and keep you cool this summer. Looking for the double in the lead. Great toss by Followbeck. In the 8th frame. Gets her in the lead by a single pin, and Courtney Ermish wasting no time getting up on the approach. I think a little frustration sitting in for Ermish, and once again misses left. And 6, 9, 10 remaining, and sometimes you just have to take the old mental time out, get yourself regrouped, and make sure you don't give any more pins away. And right now for Ermish, she needs to do that. She needs to get a spare on the board here, and another pull left. She's just rushing herself, getting to the foul line. And as the ball comes through, the shoulders are closing early, and now a 13-pin deficit with only 2 frames remaining for Ermish. She needs to put a strike on the board right now to put any pressure back on Followbeck. She likes that one out of her hand. 10 back, and it's an all-or-nothing game here for Ermish. 4 strikes in a row, then 4 open frames in a row. But yet she can still max out at 201. However, Followbeck, if she strikes here in the 9th, it's pretty much match over. Oh, that's leaked well to the left, and you can see with the amount of oil that's on the outside boards of the lane, this isn't a normal pattern you see during league or open play in your local bowling center. Heavy volume on the outside, ball has no chance to grab dry boards early and hook back. And the picket fence is never an easy spare at any point in time, let alone when you're trying to lock up a match and advance to a championship final. Takes that polyester ball straight into the 1-3, carries down into the 6-10. And Followbeck still with the 9-pin lead, but she cannot shut out Courtney Ermish. She can force Courtney to strike on the first ball with a mark in the 10th frame. If Stephanie Followbeck can double in the 10th, she can force Ermish to double as well. A little extra time to focus through on the shot. Nice off the hand, but cuts through the face, leaving the 4-7. And now with a conversion and a strike, 188 will be the maximum for Followbeck. That is going to force strike 9 spare from Ermish to seal up a victory with a spare and a strike on the fill ball by Followbeck. Easy 5 steps to the line, polyester ball to take the lane pattern out of play, gets both pins with the ball. And then after this fill shot, Followback's going to have to sit back and wait. See if she has any chance of winning this match. See the big exhale on the approach. Let everything relax. Get the tension out of the body. Once again, right at target. A count on the fill ball is 186. So right now a strike a necessity for Ermish on this first ball. Strike 8 miss would be 187 for Ermish. This is the important shot. Probably her best ball of the entire game right there. The ball slices through the pin deck, splits the 8 and the 9 beautifully. Now Ermish just needs 8 pins on this first ball of the 11th frame. And she knew it too. She knew how important that was. You saw the body English, the reaction, slapping it out. Another good shot. Gets the trip on the 4. That is going to advance Courtney Ermish into our championship match. A challenge match today between the boys and girls winners. She'll take on the winner of the next match between Nick Hagen and Billy Hibbard. And we'll be back from Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy with that boys championship after this short break. Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee.
Alright, here we go.
Girls Championship match already in the books. Courtney Ermish, the big strike in the 10th frame. Take the 201 to 186 victory. Waiting for the winner of this boys championship is Carrie Catania. Gives us a little flex at the beginning of this boys championship match. Nick Hagen starting things off against Billy Hibbard. Nick coming off a second place finish at the Castle Lanes Challenge in our last show. Billy Hibbard won the boys championship, finished second to Stephanie Followbeck at River City earlier this summer. And the high hard one for Nick Hagen. Trips the 4 out, and as we've seen before, Nick not afraid to play direct to the pocket. Solid ball speed, strong roll helps take that 4-pin down. Billy Hibbard, we've seen him many times here on lanes 9 and 10 at Motion Plus Lanes over the years as our championship pair whenever we have events here for both our youth and our adult events. Billy's struggled on this pair in the past. Let's see if we can get over that early frame mistake and give Nick a run for his money. As Hibbard leaves the 610 going high on his first shot. Billy will be attending St. Ambrose University in the fall. He'll be teammates with Brent Boho, who you've seen in a couple of our telecasts here recently. Nick Hagen, high school teammate at Sussex Hamilton, with Mitch Ortlieb, who we saw win our last event. Mitch just missing the TV show today. And Hibbard, overcorrection from the opening shot through the nose, now leaves the 2, 4, 8, and 10 combination. And the last thing you want to do against Nick Hagen is give him any room to breathe. Let's see what Hibbard decides to do in this situation. He's going to stay with his strike ball. He's going to hook at that 2, 4, 8 combination, try to slide it over into the 10. He's given it a run, and he did not miss by much. 2-pin just missing the 10, but an open frame for Hibbard. Early 15-pin lead for Nick Hagen. So we take a look at the replay. That 2-pin probably missed by less than 2 inches on the 10, but tough when you have to get it all the way over and still carry the 4 and 8 out on that spare combination. Once again, Hagen staying with the high hard one, gets the 7 out on a high flush hit. 25 pin lead. I want to thank Barbier's for their sponsorship of all of our events. See them if you're attending an event at Miller Park. Stop by on 59th and Blue Mound. Otherwise, see them in South Milwaukee on Milwaukee Avenue. If you happen to go on the right night to South Milwaukee, you can catch some of the street fair. It's held a couple times a month outside on Milwaukee Avenue, and that's just a dead pull left for Hagen. Lucky to leave just the 3-pin. 2 more events remaining in our Road to Gold series this summer for the youth players. Next event coming to you from Classic Lanes in Greenfield. And that'll get our final qualifiers into our Grand Championships. They're being held at Sunset Bowl in Waukesha. The bowlers will be facing a short pattern, a medium pattern, and a long oil pattern during their qualifying rounds. And the high qualifier for each TV show will get to choose which lane pattern appears on that stepladder final. We'll have a separate finals for the boys and girls from that grand final at Sunset Bowl later on this summer here on Time Warner Cable SportsChannel. Hibbert with the bounce back strike after the open frame. Down currently by 24. Watch that ball. Strong roll at the pocket. Lets the 6-pin come off the sideboard and take out the 10. See what adjustment he makes on lane 9. Usually in all of our TV events we see lane 9 play a little bit tighter than lane 10, and I'm sure with this 43-foot oil pattern it's playing even tighter than usual. And once again Hibbert comes up light. He takes the 8 out this time with the 2-4-10 combination. Most likely be an open frame. His deficit to Hagen is looking like it might increase. Takes the polyester ball to go relatively straight at it. Not enough slice on the 2-pin to get over in the 10-pin zone. 2 open frames in the first 4 for Billy Hibbert and Nick Hagen. Big lead out to 36 pins while he's on the bench. Hagen looking to add to his resume today. Already a couple of Youth Challenge Series titles under his belt in his career. Strong roll at the pocket. Gets the 6-pin to kick out the 10. I want to thank Gina Darashevsky at Classic Lanes Greenfield. She's hosting our next Road to Gold event for these youth players, along with hosting the Jimmy the Greek Round to Remember, the 2nd annual golf outing on September 19th. Great fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association of Southeastern Wisconsin. Check out the details on the Classic Lanes Greenfield website if you're looking to get signed up for that. And the high 5 gear gift certificate for this 5th frame for Nick Hagen is out the window to the right. Only leaves the 1-2. At least it's not a washout or a super washout. We saw quite a few of those today during qualifying with the length of this oil pattern. Balls making a late break back to the pocket with a little excessive angle. And it was pretty easy on a 2 or 3 board miss to the right to leave a washout or worse. Textbook covered by Hagen, gets both pins with the ball, and now it's Billy Hibbert's chance to get that high 5 gear $25 gift certificate for any of the fine apparel they make. It's not just jerseys, they do golf shirts as well, custom golf shirts. They do the great chroma color pants. They can match the rest of a bowler's outfit, their high 5 gear jersey, and unfortunately for Hibbert, well, no break with the 10 falling between the 6 and the 9. And another open frame, it's looking like, for Hibbert, and once again his struggles on TV continue. He's a phenomenal qualifying record over the years, getting to the TV shows, but he's yet to have a singles title under his belt, and you can't blame him there for trying to go for the conversion. It gets 0 on the spare attempt. And that's now a 50-pin lead for Nick Hagen with half a game to go. And Billy Hibbert now, he's in mandatory strike mode to have any chance of coming back in this match. Still is a possible 209, but it needs to start here. Great shot to get into our commercial break for this game. We'll be back with the rest of this boys championship in the 2016 Motion Plus Lanes Youth Open after this short break. Back with our boys championship for the 2016 Motion Plus Lanes Youth Open. Cudahy once again at this great 16-lane facility. If you have a fundraiser or group outing you want to do in a nice intimate setting, Motion Plus Lanes is the place to do it. Nick Hagen not happy with his footwork on that shot. You can see immediately after release, looked down at his foot. Didn't get what he was looking for revolutions and roll on the bowling ball, and the weak hit at the pocket leaves the 5-pin. Should be a relatively easy spare for Nick. Lots of dates filling up, especially for weekends here at Motion Plus Lanes. If you're looking to have a corporate outing, group bowl-a-thon, fundraiser, give carrier Gene Catania a call here at Motion Plus, 414-481-0200. And don't forget, as always, in December 10th and 11th, that second weekend in December, the biggest Toys for Tots fundraiser in southeastern Wisconsin is held here at Motion Plus Lanes. And it's never too early to start bringing in toys, and that's, speaking of gifts, there's one for Nick Hagen on that shot. Head pin off the sideboard, rolls out the 2-pin. Keeps his advantage at almost 50 pins over Hibbert, but Hibbert still has 209 out there. He needs to put a strike up here in the 7th frame to get anything going. And once again, lane 10, he comes up high. Lane 9, he's been coming up light. And the struggles of Billy Hibbert on lanes 9 and 10 here at Motion Plus Lanes is continuing. He's going to keep bowling here at Motion Plus in our events until he wins a title on this pair of lanes, something tells me. Good cover by Hibbert. And as we're taping this, all these young players getting ready for Junior Gold in Indianapolis. These two young men and two women we saw in the opening match, I expect to contend for top 10% of the field finishes out of almost 3,000 bowlers in their respective boys and girls divisions in the 20 and under division at Junior Gold. Hibbert, quality shot there, 6 rings around the 10. He knows this match pretty much over. Just trying to get through, save a little face. Show the coaches at St. Andrews that the spare game is in full play, which he does with that cover. Castle Lanes and Racine just saw Phil Anko post on Facebook the $4,000 Miller Lite Doubles League at 9 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday nights. Still room for a couple of teams. It's filling fast. If you want to get in on that, call Castle Lanes and Racine, 262-633-1199. And you can get in on that action at Castle Lanes, and there's not much in the way of league openings at Castle. If you're in the Racine area and looking to bowl at what I think is one of the finest facilities, not just in Wisconsin, but in the United States, with that Northwoods cabin look, give Castle Lanes a call. Nick Hagen looking to get himself set up and going into the challenge match against Courtney Ermish now that this match is no longer in doubt. Hagen with a little area check on that shot. We saw that earlier. Balls going to the right. Don't make their way back. We'll be converting that 1, 2, and 7 without an issue. Gets them all with that 15-pound bowling ball. And as always with our Road to Gold events, the challenge match winner will take home a $100 Visa gift card. That will come in handy for these players as they go to Indianapolis for Junior Gold. Hopefully they can use that gift card, maybe buy mom or dad a tank of gas on the way down. I assume most of these players will be driving, with it only being a less than 5-hour drive from most southeastern Wisconsin locales. Hibbert almost rolled the 2A10 out, leaves the A pin, taking the scenic route at the spare. No problem covering that up. I'm sure we'll see more of Billy as the summer comes along before he leaves for St. Ambrose in Dubuque, Iowa in the fall. He'll be a freshman there, joining sophomore Brent Boho on that team. Quite the strong program. We saw graduating senior Kyle Kroll this past spring at the Sean Yona Memorial take home the college boys division title over junior Team USA member Kenny Ryan in a great match. Second year in a row that Kroll had made the college boys final at the Sean Yona Memorial. And already getting the plans together to televise the Sean Yona Memorial for the 7th straight year, coming next March. Billy Hibbert feeling it now. Nerves are gone. Gets the double in the 10th frame. Jokes a little bit with Nick Hagen. Something tells me with Nick at Whitewater and Billy at St. Ambrose, they're going to be passing each other while crossing at college tournaments all during this upcoming season. And the 2-4-5 for Billy on the last shot leaves him with 164. Gets the high five from Courtney Ermish. And if you remember back in 2015, our high school mixed double championship in the state of Wisconsin, it was Courtney Ermish and Billy Hibbert bowling from McGuanago High School that took the title away from Josh Williams and Savannah Giroux from Indian Trail. Billy and Courtney both threw the ball exceptionally well that day, especially on television. So our challenge match coming up for the $100 Visa gift card. Nick Hagen will be taking on Courtney Ermish, and we'll be back from Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy with that challenge match after this break. Well, bowling fans, you've waited all day for it. Cudahy Catania here at Motion Plus has waited all day for it. Challenge match, Courtney Ermish, Nick Hagen taking each other on for the $100 Visa gift card and the paid entry into our Road to Gold Grand Championship at the end of the season. Courtney Ermish had lane choice, decided to start off here on lane 9 at Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy. Get that strong roll going. This time though, misses a bit left, leaves the 4, 7, and 10 combination start. Courtney's match against Stephanie Fallebeck. Courtney with a 201 game, but she did it with 7 strikes and 4 consecutive open frames. So looking to get her first spare of the day on the board. Not going to happen on that attempt at the 4, 7, 10. Even the bowler that loses this match still walks away with a $50 Visa gift card for their efforts today, along with the other prizes they won earlier today, as Courtney goes back to discuss lane strategy with her dad, Mike Ermish. Nick Hagen battling an ankle injury over the last couple of events. During practice prior to the TV show, his ankle gave out on him a bit, so he's been a little ginger getting at the foul line. A little quick on that shot, leaving just the 2 pin on the light hit. Watch that ball roll through. Almost gets the 4 to come forward to take out the 2 pin, but Nick will make the adjustment for his spare. Love Nick's shoulder turn. Watch here. Watch those shoulders rotate. It helps him get through the ball
nice and easy with that immense amount of ball speed. And a spare on the ball for Nick Hagen. Next event coming to you from Classic Lanes in Greenfield. Our final regular season event prior to our grand championships from Sunset Bowl and Waukesha. We'll have a separate boys and girls telecast for our final Road to Go event of 2016 for these young players. Hagen going high, leaving the 10 pin. So Hagen didn't get any practice during the commercial break while Courtney Armish came back on the lanes and received a couple of shots on each lane. Shouldn't have changed his line that much as Hagen switches to urethane for his 10 pin conversion. We see that a lot with the college age players because they're limited with the number of bowling balls they have to use at each event. Usually it's 5 or 6, so instead of using a polyester ball for spares, they'll use a urethane. Not as much overall hook as those reactive resins, but they still have to take some hand out of the shot to get the ball to roll end over end, take the lane out of play when you're using a urethane. Urethane, as we've seen as well, really good on these tough short oil patterns, as we've seen Brent Boho use urethane when we were back at Sunset Bowl earlier this year. Courtney Armish looking for the first spare of the day, and she has it. Keeps herself within 12 pins of Nick Hagen, and a little more lane strategy discussion going on with her dad, Mike. Eileen's Bowling Buddy, some of the best training aids out there if you can't make it out on the lanes. Really want to get a feel for your swing. They have some great swing trainers you can use. Check them out at eileensbowlingbuddy.com. And Courtney, close to the pocket that time, just couldn't quite get the 4 pin out. Watch that ball, just a little bit of a harder flip at the pocket. Sends the 2 pin around the 4. Up the left side of the lane to get the 4 pin down, and another spare on the board for Armish. Nick Hagen going to be a sophomore at UW Whitewater. That program's made 3 consecutive intercollegiate team championships. Last year, their overall ranking in the country, number 8 at the end of the season. So Sean Wachner doing a great job with that program at Whitewater, and Nick gets the 6 to kick just enough of the 10 down. He put his first strike of the game on the board. Don't see a lot of emotion of Nick on the lanes. Very businesslike out there. He knows there's a job that needs to be done. He'll wait for the celebration for after the match if he does take this challenge match from Courtney Armish. And a nice strong roll through the pin deck with that shot. 10 back. They disappear in a hurry. And the lead is out to 23 for Nick Hagen. Courtney Armish stepping up in the 4th frame. Gets that ball projected nicely to the right, right through the pin deck, all 10 down. Courtney's first strike of the game. Keeping her within 23, but can cut that down to 13 if she can strike in the high 5 gear. 5th frame. We haven't given away a gift certificate yet today for high 5 gear. $25 gift certificate for any of their apparel. If a bowler strikes in the high 5 gear 5th frame on television in our singles matches, it's got a chance, and that one just crept up high again at the end, so a little bit of transition possibly for Courtney. She's gone high and high her last 2 shots. You can see there she's trying to get the feel of her swing. Needs to project it slightly more to the right to hold pocket. The main thing now is make the spare, keep yourself close to the match. And that's a pull left and not far enough right to convert that single pin. And Nick Hagen's lead opens up while it's on the bench. You can see that Courtney misses that by almost a good 6 inches. Hagen looking for his chance at the $25 High Five Gear gift certificate. 5 steps to the line. Pulled left, needs to hold. Should probably be pretty happy that was only a 4-pin on that shot. That was a good 2-board pull to the left. He picked up the speed trying to save it through the shot, but as you see right there, 2-pin never had a chance on the 4, and this is the first time all season we have not given away a High Five Gear gift certificate on the TV show. Nick, no problem covering that spare, keeping himself clean, keeping himself well ahead in this match. He's up by 34 right now, pacing at a 2-0 pace. But Courtney still has a maximum score of 224 if she can run the last 7 strikes, and we've seen her put strikes together earlier today. A couple of 4-baggers bookending 4 opens in a row during her match against Stephanie Fallebeck, and a great shot for Nick Hagen as he gets us into the commercial break. We'll be back with the rest of this challenge match from Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy. Courtney Ermish stepping up here in her half of the 6th frame of the challenge match for the 2016 Motion Plus Lanes Youth Open, down by 34 pins. Looking to string some straights to catch up, and once again creeps up a bit high in the pocket. You can see the frustration building a little bit as she looks back at her dad, Mike Ermish. The focus here now is make the spare. You still have a chance. 214. You can strike out. And once again, a pull to the left for Ermish, and another open frame on the board. Back-to-back consecutive single pin misses. She's down by 45. Her maximum score now 203, while Nick Hagen is pacing at 200, staying clean, and this could be the end of the day for Ermish. The 3, 6, 7, 10 stands and a ball through the nose. She's not wasting any time here. Frustration setting in a bit. She's got to give this spare a run. Looks good out of the hand, and how about that? And we've all been there as bowlers. Leave a single pin 1 frame, miss it, next frame, get up, convert a really hard split, and then you just kind of go, what was I doing the last frame? But a great cover there by Ermish. Still a chance in the match. 193 her maximum, but she's going to need some help from Nick Hagen. And Nick high on that shot, and well, maybe this match isn't over yet. 4, 6, 7 left at the end of the lane for Hagen. Best thing to do here, especially on the strike, get the 2 pins on the left, pick up the 4 and the 7, maintain the count, and keep yourself at a 44 pin lead in the match if you get 2, which he does. Once again, I want to thank the Petkus family at Action Heating and Cooling for all their sponsorship here at Motion Plus Lanes for all of our tournaments, including these youth events. If you have any air conditioning issues during the summer or want to get a head start, probably be a cold winter again, get that furnace tuned up early, give them a call. 414-291-5400, and they'll get a service technician out by you to take care of whatever ails your furnace or your air conditioning. Not the best roll there for Nick, a little quick out of the hand, but right now spares are key with a 44 pin lead. Leave yourself the makeables, don't leave the 210 combination, just leave the 2 pin, and force Ermish to throw strikes. Try to get back in this match. Dead on the spare for Hagen. maintains the 44-pin lead. Ermish needs to make an adjustment here. Last shot in this lane, she crept up a little high, left the 4-pin. Projected nicely out to the right. Can't quite roll everything up. Leaves the 2-pin and getting near the end of this match for any chance for Ermish. Even with this game, Ermish still going to take home a $50 Visa gift card, and I'm sure we will see a lot of Courtney in this next collegiate season as she bowls for Robert Morris in Chicago. Always a highly ranked team on both the men's and women's side at Robert Morris. Got to see Courtney's coach Dale Lehman at an event a little earlier this summer, and the recruiting never stops for these college coaches. They're out checking out high school players. Bowlers are going to be entering their senior years in high school, and it's a competitive race out there now for good high school bowlers. And if you have a son or daughter that might be in middle school, might be just going into high school next year, and they're not interested in one of the big three traditional sports with football, basketball, or baseball, see if there's a high school bowling program at their school. Could be one of the best ways for your young athlete to earn a scholarship getting into college. There's so many universities. For the women, there's NCAA and NAIA programs that offer scholarships. For the men, there's NAIA programs such as Robert Morris that offer scholarships as well. Billy Hibbert, who we saw earlier today, he's going to St. Ambrose on a bowling scholarship. Brett Boho, who's still watching his friend Nick Hagen bowl here. Brent, also a scholarship winner to St. Ambrose. So check it out. If you go to the USBC homepage at bowl.com, they have some really good information on the website about collegiate bowling and what collegiate programs are out there state by state across the U.S. Nick Hagen's going to be your challenge match winner. He's taking home the $100 Visa gift card and the entry into the Road to Gold season-ending tournament. Good way to finish it out.
Courtney, you want to finish up?
Put the strike on the board. Still a maximum of
You guys just alternate
205 for Hagen as we're going to fast track through the end of the match here. Ermish stepping up in her 10th frame. Not the final match she wanted out here on the lanes, but she's still going to be taking home a $50 Visa gift card for her efforts. Love that shoulder turn of Hagen. A little problem with the balance at the line. Hopefully he didn't tweak that ankle anymore that he's been fighting that lingering injury with. Ermish, and of course when it doesn't matter, they all fall. You can see frustration on Courtney's face. She wears her emotions, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be a long car ride back to Big Bend after this event for Courtney, but I'm sure we'll see her out on the lanes again as Nick Hagen finishes with 195. Last throw of the day here at the Motion Plus Lanes Youth Open by Courtney Ermish. And 10 back, packs all 3 in the 10th. Gary Catania runs out, gives her a hug, holds her hand in victory. Well, maybe not the victory this time, but we'll come back to wrap up this show in just a couple of minutes from Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy.
Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com. In our challenge match here at Motion Plus Lanes, bad spare shooting doomed Courtney Ermish to a second place finish in the event, with the overall championship being taken home by Nick Hagen. Nick keeping it clean most of the day takes home the $100 Visa gift card. Our next event will be coming to you from Classic Lanes in Greenfield. I'm Phil Brylow. Parents, take the kids bowling. They'll have fun for life, and we'll see you again on our next show.
Yeah.